The morning light on Zithera was faint and violet, filtering through the thick clouds that hung low over the colony. Dr. Ethan Mercer had barely slept. His mind was a constant hum of calculations, observations, and adjustments. Every fluctuation in Lyria's vitals mattered. Every small change could indicate a breakthrough or a setback. When he entered the infirmary, Lyria's chest rose and fell steadily, a small but significant improvement from the day before. Ethan felt a surge of hope. He knew the Clithians would be watching closely today. If they noticed even the smallest misstep, his methods could be scrutinized or condemned. Yet the faint warmth returning to her skin was proof that his approach was working. He adjusted her nanobot-assisted therapy and carefully injected a precise amount of adaptive enzyme. Lyria's body responded almost immediately. Her eyelids fluttered and she opened them just a fraction, enough to meet Ethan's gaze. For the first time, she tried to speak, though only a whisper emerged. "Doctor," she murmured, her alien voice soft and uncertain. Ethan smiled gently. "Yes, Lyria, you're doing very well. Just keep fighting." The Clithian junior healers in the room whispered among themselves. Some were astonished, others apprehensive. One of them, a young healer named Kira, approached Ethan cautiously. How is this possible?" she asked quietly. She should have died." Ethan looked at her calmly. "She is alive because we are helping her body fight in a way it has never experienced before. Sometimes following old rules is not enough." Kira glanced at the elders standing at the entrance. She hesitated, then leaned closer. "They will not accept this." "I know," Ethan said. "But sometimes saving a life is worth taking that risk." As the day progressed, Lyria's strength improved steadily. Her pulse grew stronger, her breathing more stable, and her eyes began to focus. The Clithian healers were forced to observe the results with a mixture of awe and suspicion. Even high healer Zyra returned to inspect the progress. Her silver eyes scanned the monitors, her face unreadable. "Her condition is improving," she admitted finally. "Unnaturally, perhaps. Your methods are effective." Ethan kept his expression neutral. "I only used the tools available, combined with careful observation. Your care created the foundation, and my methods enhanced it." Zyra remained silent, but the youngest healers exchanged glances. It was clear that some were beginning to question their centuries-old protocols. By the second cycle of Zithera's son, Alia was able to sit up with assistance. Her body was still fragile, but the spark of life was undeniable. She reached for Ethan's hand, a gesture of trust that transcended language and species. "You saved me?" she asked softly. Ethan shook his head. "You saved yourself. I only gave your body the tools to fight. You did the rest." The moment was interrupted by a commotion at the entrance of the infirmary. Several senior Clithian healers had arrived, their expressions severe. They demanded to see what Ethan was doing. For the first time, he faced the possibility that his secretive methods could be exposed. "Explain this," one of the elders said sharply. "She is recovering in a manner that defies every law of our medicine. How is this possible?" Ethan stood calmly, meeting their gaze. "I used a combination of Clithian care and adaptive human therapies. Every step was monitored and documented. I did not act recklessly. My goal was to save a life, nothing more." The elders murmured among themselves, debating. Some were angry, some confused, and some quietly impressed. Lyria's rapid recovery was undeniable, and it challenged everything they had believed about medicine. Zyra stepped forward. "You risked breaking our laws?" "I risked nothing compared to losing a life," Ethan replied. "We can learn from this. Your medicine is advanced, but sometimes collaboration and innovation are necessary." "For ours," the Council of Elders argued. Ethan remained by Lyria's side, monitoring her vitals, ready to act if needed. Slowly, the younger healers began to speak up. Kira, with courage she didn't know she had, voiced what many were thinking. "Perhaps humans can teach us something. Perhaps we have limited ourselves by following only the old ways." The room fell silent. Zyra's expression softened slightly, but she still maintained authority. This is unprecedented. I cannot approve it fully. Not yet. But the results are undeniable. She lives, and she thrives. That cannot be ignored. Ethan nodded. That is all I ask. Let the results speak for themselves. Over the next cycle, Lyria's progress continued. She regained the ability to walk short distances. Her voice grew stronger, and her immune system began to adapt to the alien pathogens that had nearly killed her. The Clithian healers began observing Ethan's methods more closely, some secretly imitating his techniques in their own care. Word of Lyria's recovery spread quickly through the colony. Citizens whispered about the human doctor who defied centuries of medical law and brought a young woman back from the brink of death. Some were fearful of change, while others were inspired by the possibility of progress. One afternoon, Lyria stood, fully supported by Ethan. She looked around at the healers, her eyes shining with gratitude. I am alive because of him, she said, her voice steady. He gave me a second chance. The room fell quiet. The elders could not deny her words. High healer Zyra approached Lyria, examining her carefully. For the first time, she allowed a small smile. You have done what we thought impossible. Perhaps there is wisdom in your methods, human. Ethan shook his head. No wisdom is mine alone. It is a combination of your knowledge and my approach. Together, we saved a life. Zyra nodded slowly. Then let this be a lesson. Rules are important, yes, but they are not absolute. Life. Life is the ultimate law. The younger healers erupted in quiet excitement. They began asking Ethan questions, eager to learn. Even some of the skeptical elders approached, curious about the possibilities that human medicine offered. For the first time, the Clithian medical system seemed open to collaboration. Bridging to worlds that had once seemed too different to work together, Ethan spent the next few days training the Clithian healers. Sharing his methods while respecting their traditions, he emphasized observation, careful calculation, and the importance of adapting methods to the patient rather than forcing the patient to adapt to rigid procedures. Slowly, a new understanding emerged. Lyria continued to recover, stronger and healthier each day. She laughed quietly with the junior healers, her voice carrying a note of hope that had been missing for weeks. Ethan watched her, proud but humble, knowing that he had only been a guide. Her resilience, her determination, had been just as important as any treatment he administered. By the end of the second part, the Clithian Council called a formal meeting. Ethan and the healers presented the documented results, showing step by step how Lyria had recovered. Even the most skeptical elders could not deny the success. The council voted to integrate adaptive human methods into their medical system. Marking a historic moment for Zathera, Lyria, fully recovered, stood beside Ethan as the council declared the change. I am grateful, she said, looking at him with warmth. You saved me, and in doing so, changed our world. Ethan smiled. No, Lyria, you saved yourself. I just helped you see the path. As he looked around at the Clithians, their eyes reflecting respect, curiosity, and even admiration, Ethan realized something profound. Humanity had arrived on Zathera not as conquerors or invaders, but as allies. By daring to challenge rigid rules with compassion and intelligence, humans could inspire, teach, and unite even the most disciplined alien civilizations. And for Ethan Mercer, the human doctor who had defied every law of alien medicine, this was only the beginning. There were countless worlds out there, countless lives at risk, and countless challenges waiting. But if Zathera had taught him anything, it was that courage, knowledge, and empathy could overcome even the oldest traditions, as the twin suns of Zathera set. Casting a violet glow over the recovering colony, Ethan stood silently, watching the world he had helped change. Somewhere in the distance, Lyria laughed with the junior healers, her voice carrying hope and life. And Ethan knew with absolute certainty that the human spirit had earned a place even among the stars. Alex had been dreaming about owning his own starship for years. The galaxy was vast, filled with countless systems waiting to be explored. and he wanted nothing more than the freedom to chart his own course. After months of saving and scanning auctions for the perfect vessel, he finally found one that caught his eye, a sleek, mid-sized ship called the Elysian Wing. The auction description made it sound ordinary, nothing special beyond its high-speed engines and reinforced hull, but the price was surprisingly low. That alone made Alex suspicious. But curiosity got the better of him. The auction hall was a bustling place. It was filled with beings of every shape, size, and color. Some had translucent skin that shimmered under the bright lights. Others had multiple limbs and eyes that moved independently. Alex felt small and insignificant as he wandered among the bidders, most of whom clearly had more experience in galactic auctions than he did. He tried to focus on the Elysian Wing, which sat quietly on the platform, almost as if it were waiting for someone. "Do you really want this one?" asked a gruff alien behind him, whose leathery wings rustled as he leaned forward. "It's cheap for a reason. Old tech, maybe unstable, could be dangerous." Alex smiled nervously. "I'm looking for a ship that can take me places no one else has gone. If it's risky, that's part of the adventure." The alien raised a skeptical eyebrow but said nothing. The auctioneer, a thin, shimmering creature with 4 arms, began the countdown. The price rose quickly as competitors pushed higher and higher. Alex felt his heart race. His hand hovered over the bidding panel, unsure if he could outbid the more experienced collectors. He hesitated, then pressed the button. 1 bid, then 2, then 3. Each time, the price climbed. Finally, with a last surge of determination, Alex entered the maximum amount he had saved. To his amazement, no one countered. The Elysian Wing was his. The hall erupted in applause, alien voices blending into a strange symphony of celebration. Alex couldn't believe it. He had a ship, his own ship. The next day, he boarded the vessel at the storage dock. The Elysian Wing was even more impressive up close. Its hull gleamed under the dock lights, sleek and aerodynamic, with glowing lines along its edges that pulsed faintly. Alex ran his hands along the surface, feeling the energy hum beneath his fingers. It was alive in a way, almost as if the ship itself recognized him. He stepped inside and pressed the control panel. Lights flickered on, and a soft hum filled the cabin. Then he noticed something unexpected. A figure lying on the central platform, wrapped in a faintly glowing stasis cocoon. Alex froze. "What the?" he muttered. The cocoon began to dissolve, and a beautiful alien woman emerged. Her skin shimmered with silver-blue tones, and her eyes glowed softly, reflecting the lights of the cabin. Her hair floated slightly as if suspended in zero gravity, and she moved with a grace that seemed almost unreal. Alex stumbled backward. "Ah, hi." The alien's eyes widened, but she did not panic. Instead, she observed him calmly, as if trying to read his mind. Then her lips moved, though no sound came. Alex blinked. A sudden voice echoed in his mind, clear and calm. "Who are you, human?" Alex's jaw dropped. She was communicating telepathically. "I'm Alex. I bought this ship yesterday at the auction. I didn't know anyone was." Here, the alien's eyes narrowed slightly. "I am Lyra. I am bound to this vessel. My safety is linked to it. You are now its master, but you must prove yourself capable." Alex swallowed hard, feeling both awe and panic. "Bound? What does that mean?" "I mean, can you leave?" "Do I need a license for?" "For you?" Lyra tilted her head, studying him. "I cannot leave. The bond is permanent. Your presence will affect my existence, and my presence will affect your journey. This is not negotiable, but cooperation will benefit both of us." Alex ran a hand through his hair. He had expected a challenge when buying an old ship, but not a living, sentient companion. His mind raced. He thought of calling the auction house, but the thought of explaining that the ship came with a beautiful alien woman seemed ridiculous. They didn't even mention her. How could this happen? Lyra seemed to sense his confusion. "You are inexperienced. That is acceptable. You will learn. But understand this, the ship responds to your commands and my guidance. If you act recklessly, Both our lives are at risk. Alex nodded, though he wasn't sure if she could see it. Okay? Okay. I can do that. I mean, I'll try. But what? What should I do first? Lyra moved to the control panel with fluid precision. With a wave of her hand, the ship's internal systems lit up in sequence. Holographic displays appeared showing engine status, life support, navigational charts, and a dozen other systems Alex had never seen before. She demonstrated small adjustments, her fingers moving faster than his eyes could follow. "Watch and learn," she said telepathically. Alex tried to keep up, but his human reflexes were slow. Every time he made a move, she corrected him silently, guiding him with mental nudges. Despite the initial tension, Alex couldn't help but admire her. She was extraordinarily intelligent, confident, and graceful in ways that he had never imagined. Hours passed as Alex learned to navigate the ship's controls under Lyra's guidance. They exchanged thoughts and strategies, slowly building a working rhythm. But the calm was broken when the ship's sensors detected an incoming threat. A small fleet of space pirates approaching the dock. Alex froze. Pirates. Here, now. Lyra's eyes narrowed. Stand back. I will protect the ship. Before he could react, she interfaced with the ship's systems directly, her mind syncing with its neural network. The Elysian wing sprang to life, engines roaring, weapons arming automatically. The ship lifted off the dock with terrifying speed, dodging the incoming attacks with fluid, precise maneuvers. Alex clung to the controls, trying to follow her lead. But it was clear he was outmatched in skill. Despite the danger, Alex couldn't help but feel exhilarated. This was exactly the kind of adventure he had dreamed of. Lyra's calm control and unmatched skill were mesmerizing. He realized that, for the first time, he was witnessing the perfect combination of human daring and alien precision. After several tense minutes, the pirates retreated, clearly outmatched by the ship's advanced capabilities and Lyra's piloting. The Elysian wing floated in the void, engines cooling. Alex exhaled deeply, his hands shaking from adrenaline. Lyra turned to him. You see, human caution is necessary, but so is adaptability. You will need both to survive. Alex nodded, still trying to catch his breath. Yeah, I see that now. I didn't even know what I was doing back there. I'm sorry if I slowed you down. You did not slow me. You observed and learned. That is the first step. You have potential, Alex, if you are willing to accept guidance. The tension between them began to shift, moving from fear and confusion to a tentative understanding. Alex realized that Lyra was not just a passenger or a servant. She was the ship itself in many ways, and learning to work with her was key to mastering the Elysian wing. As the ship exited the atmosphere and entered open space, Alex looked out the viewport. The stars stretched endlessly before him, a reminder of the vastness of the galaxy and the adventures that awaited. Beside him, Lyra floated with serene elegance, her glowing eyes reflecting the distant suns. I think we're going to make a good team, Alex said quietly. Lyra's lips curved in the faintest hint of a smile. Perhaps. But understand this, the galaxy is not kind. You will be tested. Danger is constant. And secrets of the ship and of my origin remain hidden. Only those who prove themselves can discover them. Alex nodded again, feeling both fear and excitement. He had bought a ship, and it had come with a beautiful alien woman who was more than just beautiful. She was powerful, intelligent, and mysterious. He knew that his life had changed forever, and that the galaxy would never feel the same again. As the Elysian wing sailed through the stars, Alex and Lyra began their first tentative steps toward partnership. The journey ahead would be filled with danger, discovery, and challenges neither of them could have predicted. But for the first time in his life, Alex felt truly alive. He had the freedom he had always dreamed of now, with Lyra by his side. It might be unstoppable. The stars stretched on endlessly, and Alex couldn't wait to see where the Elysian wing would take them next.